first our distinguished speakers, Mr. Yong Jun Kim. I was really touched. In fact, my take point for the synthesis were serious and major elements for your speech. To all our media friends, to all our students, our bloggers, and shall we say, all distinguished personages who are here who have attended the media forum. Okay, first of all, allow us to share with you that this media forum was called as a pre-assembly for the bigger global forum that will be held, as Mr. Engr said, in December. And we would like to, of course, invite again all our distinguished guests. Consul Knight, Attorney Buhain, Mrs. Camacho, of course, our boss in Malacanang, Mrs. Annie Coloma, our blogger, our beautiful blogger there, Bianca, and all our Noel from the PDP to join us again, because this is just the first, our good friend Joseph from the Federation of the Cable Networks. This is just the first major milestone that the Global Peace Initiative has done for the media sector. We are very, very thankful that you're all here with us today. And so we had about 30 representatives from media. And most of all, we are honored by all the taipans and the moguls in the media industry. Now, what are the lessons that we have learned that I'm supposed to synthesize this afternoon? I believe, and even for the students, this is very important, no? It's because a number of people will be journalists, they're communication students and all. The first lesson that I kept on nodding my head this afternoon when he was delivering it were the major salient points from Mr. Yong Jun Kim's discussion. That as media practitioners, you have all the rights of freedom and democracy and freedom of expression in your respective media forms. You are all running very, very, very powerful media, shall we say, machineries and modalities. Of course, from the television industry, we heard from Mr. Kapamon. We've heard from the cable network. The cable is about 300 or so active members throughout the country. We've heard from the movie sector. And then, of course, we move on to publishing. You heard Attorney Buhain. And, of course, Sunny Coloma and Michael of the Manila Times. You've heard Jane. You've heard Bianca. And we've also heard the other ladies, like we had Mrs. Silgidote yesterday. She spoke with the Peace and Global Women, but she's also a media practitioner in her own right. She's a radio commentator from DZXL. Now, the first major points that were said was, indeed, you have the freedom and the prerogatives of media. But what Mr. Yong Jun Kim was echoing was, this should be responsible freedom. We do not have the diplomatic license to use media as a vehicle for sensationalism or thwarting information for the benefit, for instance, of business, political, or any other agenda. Media should be used, indeed, in its original sense, as a form of communication to tell humanity about the truth. Just like what Bianca was sharing with us as the last speaker. Second, a few inputs on the respective media forms. Broadcast, indeed, is one of the most powerful. Because when we view television or listen to the radio, more so television or even the movies, as Francia was saying, we sometimes transcend ourselves and think that what's happening in the movie is the reality. Is the reality. And so we tend to believe everything that we watch and see. That's why movies and television are very, very powerful, because they influence even the young minds. Is it not? When the fashion was for the TikTok and all, everybody was doing TikTok, you know? So if we use television as a mode for positive value formation, I think it will be very, very effective. Broadcast for that matter. And then print. Print publications, which is represented by Attorney Buhain, as we said, is the longest gestating form. Because when you write a book, when you publish a book, you have to write it, you have to edit it, it takes months. But it has a carrying permanence to it. Once you publish a book, it becomes gospel truth. And likewise, print, Sir Coloma, as you very well know, when the Manila Bulletin, incidentally, I am proud to say that I am an avid Manila Bulletin reader. I do not begin my day without looking for my copy of Manila Bulletin. Because honestly, they are one of the most neutral, objective, and comprehensive newspapers. And of course, likewise also the Manila Times. They do not sensationalize. We have this both, Manila and Manila. Perhaps the tabloids or the sensational, shall we say, prints really have to use a little bit of sensationalism to be able to generate mass hysteria or awareness, or sometimes that part of item, just so that the issue will be bought for the day. But that's not the whole point. I think, as Mr. Amnike and Mr. Sani will tell you, at the end of the day, it's what you publish and the quality of what you publish counts a lot. And I think, Ed, you will bear with me representing global peace also as a writer. Broadcast, I think, Noel, I have mentioned that also, no? And then finally, the most sensitive now is social media. So Jing, Bianca, Sexy gave us also here yesterday. She begged her kind indulgence. She was supposed to join us again. She's the Undersecretary for Information Technology. That information technology and real-time social media are indeed the most, shall we say, pervasive, but thwartable forms, as you kids will agree with us, no? Because social media is real-time based. And as was indicated by Mr. Yongjun Kim, it can be manipulated. We cannot screen writers as the newspapers and the publishing companies would. You cannot screen television broadcasters. You cannot screen television. I mean, you can screen television broadcasters. You can screen television producers. But you cannot screen the materials that go into social media. So what we are requesting and begging of social media bloggers is, again, taking over Mr. Kim's inputs, be responsible bloggers and social media posters. We're seeing the thumbs up sign from the professors of the university. Okay, so in that regard, we came up with a pledge of commitment, Sally. May we bring up the pledge of commitment and advocacy agenda of this media forum, which encapsulates what we have achieved this afternoon. And maybe, because it summarizes everything that, we can hold it up with me. Where's Alfred? Alfred, can you hold it up here? And later on, after this, we would request all our distinguished speakers to affix their signatures in conformity to the statements that I mentioned. Okay, first, and I wonder, Alan, if you can focus on this. Yeah, maybe you can retreat a little bit. Okay, we'll start now. The first line says, as participants of this media forum, we acknowledge the profound impact of media on our world and recognize the pivotal role it plays in shaping global perceptions, advocating for peace, and fostering positive change. We pledge our unwavering commitment to the following principles and agenda. First, harnessing the power of media for peace. We commit to use media as a force for good, leveraging its influence to promote a culture of peace, both locally and globally. We understand that traditional and digital media channels, from television to social media, possess the potential to inspire empathy, understanding, and unity, and we will use these platforms responsibly to amplify messages of peace. We support traditional and digital media. We pledge our support for both traditional and digital media, and we recognize that print, media, television, and movies continue to be influential tools for raising awareness and promoting peace, and we will engage with and promote their content. Simultaneously, we understand the significance of adapting to the digital age, and we commit to embracing new technologies and digital platforms for the betterment of society. Third, mobilizing new media for real-time peace advocacy. We pledge to use social media. Jing, this is you, and Bianca, and all your friends, and digital technology for real-time peace advocacy. We understand that the power of these platforms to disseminate information, mobilize global movements, and coordinate rapid responses to crisis, and we will harness these tools to actively advocate for peace and create a global awareness. Encouraging informed discourse and collaboration is precisely what we did today. We commit to fostering informed discourse and collaboration, and we understand that media can be a source of education and enlightenment, and we will actively seek out diverse perspectives, engage in constructive discussions, and work collaboratively towards peaceful solutions to global issues. Fifth, promoting peace through storytelling, because students, even through storytelling, we pledge to use the art of storytelling to humanize conflicts and drive empathy, whether through documentaries, films, articles, or social media posts. We will employ compelling narratives to inspire others to join us in our mission for peace. And then finally, enacting positive change, our commitment goes beyond words. It extends to action. We pledge to take meaningful steps, both individually and collectively, to contribute to the betterment of our communities and the world at large. We understand that media is a catalyst for change, and we will actively advocate for a world that embraces peace, tolerance, truth, and unity. In unity, therefore, we pledge to use the power of media for the greater good, to advocate for peace, and to create a world where understanding, empathy, and collaboration thrive. And together, we will be champions of a culture of peace and an interconnected world. And we will request our distinguished speakers to affix their signatures, and this will become part of the library of the Global Peace Foundation. So we would like to thank Professor Loma, Bianca, Francia. We have our pens. Maybe we can sign this if you want. Gentlemen, the hope of the future, can you help me carry this? Yes, the two of you. So that we can let all our distinguished speakers sign. Yes. Thank you very much, Sunny. Kim, Mr. Verano, there you go. This is our Magna Carta of peace, using media as the most powerful tool for effective change. group photograph in front. Technical, can you remove the monitor, please? So we have a nice photograph here in front. And you remove this too. We can be downstairs. You can remove the monitor. Alright. We will request our distinguished speakers to join us up front. And then, gentlemen, you can bring it up by here. Mr. Coloma, Bianca, Noel, Mr. Yong. Mr. Yong is Racha, Attorney Joaquin, Joseph. John, you can come up. Some can be up, some can be down. Mr. Yong, John, they say you're very tall. You can stay here. And Mark, and Joseph, you can stay here. We have Kosani here, yes. Joseph,
pwede po dito tumingin. Camera. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Tingin kayo sa akin.
Smile. Thank you.
One more, say hi to the camera.
Hi.
Okay, peace sign, peace sign. Peace sign, 3, 2, 1, go!